When I first started practicing pediatrics, there weren't a lot of cold remedies on the market. It was pretty easy to keep track of them, but now there's over 200 of them. And there's the fever, cold and cough, there's the fever, cough and cold, there's the flu, fever, runny nose, and it can be really confusing for any parent, even a doctor sometimes.
When I started in practice, one of the first things I did, I went to CVS, I went in the aisle,
Right.
and I just went down.
Yeah, yeah.
Because parents were naming medicines I had never heard of. I'm like,
Right, and they'll do name brands, and oftentimes we work in generic
Right.
brands in terms of remembering the doses. So it's really interesting, though. A lot of parents really don't get it right.
Well, it's confusing. It's because
yeah.
they're in different, you have the teaspoons and tablespoons, but they also have the dropper amounts and then
Sometimes it
by
comes
weight
with a
and things like
dropper
that.
or a
They
cup
should
or a
actually
spoon.
come with the instrument that
and,
you're supposed to
you know,
measure.
1 in 4 over-the-counter medications don't come with its
Yeah.
own measuring device, which is a problem.
It's very
And
confusing.
And what about that statistic? In some cases, 90% labeled the device with different units
Yeah.
than the
Right.
instructions. So
this
how in
might-
the world are you supposed to know as a
yeah,
parent?
this
if-
might say mLs, whereas the little cup says teaspoons. And unless you took high school chemistry and physics, you may not know the conversion.
and you need a magnifying glass just to read it.
Exactly.
And then there's infant versus children. And if
Right.
you give the children's dose using an infant,
Right.
so
And
it's all
many
over
of
the
the
place.
infant medications, you look at the bottle, it says for 2 years and up.
Right.
There should be universal dosing.
Yes.
A teaspoon of this should be the same as a teaspoon of that and this, and that way everybody will be on the same page.
And that's why there are new recommendations that we don't recommend over-the-counter cough and cold medicines for children under 4 years of age. It can be dangerous. You overdose, you could die. ER visits have decreased dramatically, you know this, since those changes in recommendations for over-the-counter cough and cold medicines came out in 2007 with under 2 years of age, and then in 2008 they dropped it to under 4.
So
and we can do
instead-
better. We
Yeah.
can do
We
better.
can do
Now
better.
that we have these recommendations out there, we need
And
to
for
do
the
a
time
better
being,
job of
do
labeling everything.
non-medicated cold remedies. Nice, hot, steamy shower, nasal saline spray in the nose. Things that are not
Vaporizer.
vaporizers, things that are not medicine, no side effects.
Right.